Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, the High Guy Jacobs, and today we're taking a look at some of the details they've returned for Island Raid. Let's go ahead and look at these two JPEGs that they've released with some of the information and some of the maybe what looks like some of the rewards that we can see awarded here. Glory returns in Island Raid, intense battles and upgraded strategies. Participate for 3 days and enjoy a brand new battle experience. Commanders, the highly anticipated Island Raid gameplay is back after an official upgrade. This time we have made comprehensive optimizations to make the battles more exciting and the strategies more diverse. Come and take a look at the highlights of this update. So first we're going to get some event framework optimization, which we've seen before. This is where they're going to split everything into Apex, Elite, and Fearless, as we can see on that upgraded one, Apex, Elite, and Fearless. Obviously the top for Apex is looked to be getting what looks like 100 DLS points, 25 of those special survivor fragments. Seems very survivor fragment heavy, like they're putting a lot of focus on that, taking it away from the vehicles, and obviously more into just some honing armaments as well. So it seems they're doing less focus on the vehicles, which to me is just going to make them more expensive in the long run, which kind of sucks, but I guess that's why they're so influential. Duration adjustment. So the duration of the event has been shortened to 3 days, making it more compact and efficient. That's down from 5 days from what it was before, which means that you shouldn't have, you won't be staying up for 5 days straight, just trying to stay alive. You'll have a little bit less time to do that. And hopefully just as many combat, or just as much combat and, fighting and stuff. So we'll see how that plays out. Segmentation mechanics. This is where we see Apex, Elite, and Fearless rankings. This is where we start to understand again that they have a max 2200 war zones. I'm honestly thinking this is really just because they have opened up more servers than what they can handle. And this is only my own judgment based on what I'm seeing with the amount of lag that we're seeing in bigger fights, the amount of optimization that you have to actually use now in the game. It seems like they might be getting to their limit. So unless they start to invest in some servers or some server space, that's probably why they're limited to 2,200 war zones. Or 2,200 alliances, pardon me. Alliances are matched based on their strength to ensure more fairness in battle. Whether that's going to be based on might or whether that's going to be based on rating is going to be an interesting question. This, to me, says might, but knowing them, they'll probably do rating. We'll obviously see how that works. Participation requirements. Alliances must have 50 active members with at least Shelter 16 or above. So now they're trying to make sure that you have at least 50 members, which is up from, I believe GW is only 40. And then you've got 30 in Pompeii. So that's interesting. 50 members for that one. That's pretty good. I like that. Having those more participants makes it more enjoyable. Resource and gameplay updates. We've got some of this situation look to be based on earning island trial or island coins. So let's take a look here real quick. It says Helipad now provides stable production of materials. So it's not going to just be based on your donations of, I believe it was oil, is what you had to donate before to create cement. So now we're going to have a stable production. Capturing settlement speeds up the production. So you're no longer having to wait on everybody hitting the tap button in order for that to work up. It just goes up automatically. I don't know. I like the donation function. It got more people, paying attention and focusing and logging in more often. So I like that aspect. So I'm not sure what this will do. We'll see. And then Island Trial replaces the War Meets War event, added trial coin rewards and more items that can be redeemed. So unless they're going to have a ridiculous amount of rewards that you can actually get here, I am curious how removing the War Meets War event, which is ideal for these fighting events, which is kind of what you're fighting for, War Meets War, and then obviously the rewards that come from completing those and actually ranking in the War Meets War event. So taking that away and adding just this store, I'm not really sure whether that's going to be beneficial for them. Obviously, it says all this and more is waiting for you to explore, commanders. This is for illustration purposes only. Actual gameplay content may vary. Kind of weird they would put that, even though they had, even though this is what they're putting out themselves. But we'll go ahead and move on. So we've got battle and strategy upgrades. So we got coin plundering. More prism coins will be produced. Declare war system now supports direct attack on outposts. What this actually means, I have no freaking clue. This is a whole brand new ideology or a whole brand new thing. this whole coin plundering and stuff like this from other alliances. Well, we're going to have to see entirely, because this is a brand new event for this, a brand new part to the event. Declare War system now supports direct attacks on outposts. So the Declare War mechanic, during the Declare War period, a temporary helipad can be constructed. The temporary helipad will be auto-incinerated after the Declare War period ends. Plundered coins are included in the overall rankings and the overall event rankings. Well, seems to me that they're going to be creating... So it's not just like you're fighting the alliances that you're around. You can actually jump in to fight other alliances and declare war on them. So like the weaker alliances that are sitting across the room or across the place where you can't actually reach them. Well, now you'll actually be able to do that with these, it sounds like, with these declaring war with these temporary helipads. Or, you know, you can get more help from other alliances because you're going to have coalitions. If you read the next part, alliances can sign coalition agreements, added identification among allies, blocked friendly fire, and made offensive and defensive strategies more flexible. So this means that I could ally with somebody else in the map on the other side, for example, and instead of them having to march all the way there, they can actually now just send their attack troops in on this temporary declaration of war with a temporary helipad, and we can coordinate attacks that way. So it's an interesting way to kind of get more coordination of the alliances together, so it's not just one alliance ruling everything. So we'll see how that plays out. Player experience optimization. So we've added a new elixir heal mechanic. So 65% of wounded troops will be returned during the evacuation phase. So at the end of the game, or at the end of Island War, at the end of Island Raid, 65% of your wounded troops will be returned, and the aid station will return a certain percentage of dead troops every day. So it'll be another one of those kind of Genesis War situations where your main place gives back, your hospital might return some, but your aid station will return, say, 80% of what they did in Genesis War, 80%, 100%, 100%. So maybe they'll do something like that, or maybe it'll be a smaller percentage, based on that. We won't know until they actually do that, but you will start to see some of those troops back from your aid station, looks like every day. Okay. Next, you've got merit awards. Obviously, this is one of the things they've added to every event. Added alliance merit awards during event settlement, providing a clearer incentive. During event settlement, so during the first couple of days, event settlement. That's interesting. We'll see how that plays out. I'm not sure the wording. Added alliance merit awards during event settlement, providing a clearer incentive. Now, whether that's just to the event they've added merit awards, or during a specific part in the event, that's weird wording for me. Weird. Okay, battle participation preference mechanics. Members can express their interest to participate in battle to an alliance officer, who can then arrange the list of participants based on their preferences. Looks like, just like we saw before in the actual game, you can go into the alliance tag and actually say whether you want to play or not by obviously selecting this. So you can actually select and see who's around to fight and who's not. Next, we've got Miasma Zone. So the core contaminated region of the map will gradually dissipate as buildings are unlocked, adding depth to strategy, which means you can't just go to the middle and build around it. It's going to be a timed thing, which means you'll want to kind of build and get there eventually. So what they've kind of done here to me is they've taken Island Raid and they've drastically changed it. Before it was 8 alliances on one map, all vying for basically one level 8 fishing village or what is it, treasure outpost or whatever it is in the middle of the map. And you've got level 6s and level 7s that are kind of there, and you're going to work alliances within those 8. You're going to work allies and coalitions within those 8 alliances to be able to help you kind of capture that middle. The first one to capture it, the one to hold it, obviously gets the most amount of points, and then obviously takes the major rewards. What they're kind of doing now is adding what seems to be a layer of AR into it without having the gates and things like that locking things down. So you won't be able to get to the middle until certain settlements are captured, whether that's on the map or whether that's just per alliance. It's going to be, yet to be determined. And then obviously you're dealing with different mechanics based on how these coalitions are going to work out. So it's really kind of interesting to see how they're going to reskin this. I'm excited to play it myself. I can't wait to log in and get some of these battles done. and hopefully we'll get matched in just under 5 billion, probably 4.5. Between 4.5 and 4.8 billion is kind of where we're shooting for. So if you're in around that same mite, expect to, maybe you'll catch us in the matchmaking, and other than that, that's it for this video. But that being said, if you haven't already, check out thcemporium.ca for any of your The Hi Guy or the Mrs. Merch. We've got a podcast that goes out. We're kind of on a hiatus right now for the holidays, but we will be coming back here shortly with The Hi Guy's Joints of You in all of your podcast areas, both on Spotify or anything like that. Just search The Hi Guy, and you should be able to find the Joints of You. We've also got a Pompeii replay every Tuesday called Takedown Tuesday, and obviously we do Who TF Are You on Wednesdays, where we actually get to meet the community themselves. If you want to be a part of the Who TF Are You and get interviewed, reach out to me, please. I've got lots and lots of space and time to be able to interview players, as long as you're okay with sitting down with me and just shooting the shit about the game and having a good time doing that. So, that being said, guys, love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time, stay lifted.